All right, so Michael is going to speedily escort the judges for deliberation. They will come back with lightning speed and dole out $15,000 in prizes, which is another secret to our motivating people. All right, so a few things while we're waiting for them to come back and write a huge check. So kind of interesting that, just to remind you, like, would you guys agree that about if you had seen these apps, they look like apps that people have been, you have a whole team of engineers and designers working for months building these apps. So it's kind of fun to think that it's only 3 weeks and you just learned mobile development. So I want to do a few things real quick. I'm going to invite Mario and Gwen up here to explain some things that we're doing specifically in the design community. And then we're going to do a few other things before we bring the judges back with their gigantic checks.
Hello. So we would love to get a quick show of hands. Who in this room is a designer? So we think you guys are really awesome, and we're working on a few projects to keep you guys engaged and involved in the CodePath community.
So just quick introductions. My name is Mario.
And I'm Gwen.
We're both designers. We are also in the first public iOS demo class, which was just 1 year ago. And we had such a great time that, we've kind of worked our way deeper and deeper into the CodePath community, and now we're actually two of CodePath's design advisors. Now, what does that actually mean? We actually get the opportunity to help out CodePath in almost any way that you can imagine design can touch that. So we actually help coordinate all the mentors. We help find, we help other designers create swag, which you guys will see today. So take all those socks home and show them to all your friends. And then we also are expanding our role a little bit more. So we're actually introducing a couple ways for designers, especially now that you guys have all spent the past 8 weeks learning a little bit more about iOS. You can actually expand your knowledge a little bit more. We're actually offering a blog. We're going to be having a speaker series coming up. But we also just want to make sure that you guys are heard as well, and that you're not just leaving tonight empty-handed or not knowing how to keep in touch with the community.
Yeah. So one thing you can do is join our Facebook alumni group. We'll also be reaching out to you guys via email, and you can also just email either Mario or I, so Gwen at CodePath or Mario at CodePath, and we'll make sure to get back to you on any feedback or suggestions. And also, if you are an alumni or a student, we have fantastic hoodies sitting over there for you guys to come pick up after the event.
Cool, thanks.
Because CodePath's all about being excellent, those hoodies are American Giant 4-month weight hoodies for you with 0 weight if you are a CodePath alumni. If you're a current student and your name is in the brochure, I think Nathan has a few words for you.
Yeah, so in every class, as I mentioned, we have 100 people participate. But the truth is, right, every single one of those people put in a tremendous amount of effort. Even to survive the program, of which we aggressively withdraw people, to make it to the end is already an achievement. However, we often find that there's a few people in every class who go a cut above, right? These are people who are doing the required stories, which takes 10 hours, 15 hours, optional stories, which takes 10 or 15 hours, and then, on top of that, inventing their own ideas for their projects as well in a kind of their own extras category. These are people who go above and beyond, people who work with their teams especially effectively, people who show leadership within the class itself. We see mentors popping up from even within the peers within the class. And so every single round we like to recognize not just teams, but also the individuals that were particularly excellent in the round. And so if you did not look at the program yet, we have a list of excellent individuals. We call them honor students, iOS, Android, and design. So if we could actually have all of the honor students who are actually at demo day still, if you could stand up and actually come down, give them a round of applause. We want to take a quick picture with them if possible. So Yeah, so I know this is more difficult because of the close surroundings, but let's see if we can actually take a picture with, yeah, just come on awkwardly in here and it'll be great. Everybody who kicked ass in the class, we just want to recognize that. Give them one more round of applause, the honor students. I'm telling you, these guys.
Sorry, don't go anywhere.
What's that?
Don't go anywhere. Stay here, honor students, 1 second. Sorry, honors students, come back. Come back, please. Nidhi has something for you.
Oh, yes.
One quick thing, real quick. This is
Thanks, Tim. May I invite all of the students to be here? I think all of you are honor students for me, not just these people, but everyone who went through the class. Can you all come here on the stage, please? Really? No one else? No, there is. So you are the only one who was left out? Oh, thank you. I just want to do a quick Q&A. Just to give you some background, my name is Nidhi and I went through the same class a year ago. I took the Android class last year in March. So I know exactly what these people went through and a lot of respect for you guys. How many of you are future students, or potential future students? Anyone? Oh, great. So yeah, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to see if you guys had any questions for our existing students. Any tips, anything that you guys want to share? Do we have any students from the, any questions from the students or anyone else from the audience?
How many of you guys have children?
So the question is, how many of these guys have children?
I have a 3-month-old. Actually, I have two. I have a 3.5-year-old daughter and a 3-month-old son. Looks like it can be. But I had a very good team. They work a lot more than me. And, and this is the truth, so I should tell it.
All right. I have a question for you guys. What is that one thing you guys think you guys probably would have liked to know when you started the class? What is that one thing you wish you knew before you before you joined the class? Wow, that's a hard question.
Before I started the class, I had absolutely no idea how much of my social life I was about to sacrifice. Like, absolutely, I cut out all the plans with my friends, and I kept on saying, CodePath, that's all I'm doing these days. Shut up, don't talk to me until I finish the class. So yeah, that's something I would have loved to realize right before the class started. I had heard a lot about the class from my friends, but I had no idea what the extent of the class was. Yeah.
Great, thank you, Nigel. Any other inputs, any other secrets that you guys would like to share with our potential students? Yeah, one more question.
This is a really great event, and thank you to all the people who presented. It was really eye-opening, wonderful. So for the people who had experience in coding before coming to CodePath, what were some of the skills that you hope to gain that you didn't already have as a result of your work experience?
Anybody? I'm just going to pick a volunteer.
So I joined the class having a few years of experience developing for Android. I really wanted to see what the other side of the coin was like, learn some of the design patterns, learn an entirely new language, Swift, see how it compared to native Java on Android. And I have to say, the platforms share a lot of similarities, but they're nothing alike. And so I'm really grateful for the experience, and it was definitely worth my time.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yeah, here.
I'm curious from any of the designers who went through the classes, how do you use it now in your career? Are you 100% developer? Or are you remaining in the UX design world? Or yeah, just how are you balancing that?
Are you still one of us, or have you converted is the question.
I think for me, more than anything, it's just removing that dependency. If I have like a really cool idea, I can just build it myself now. I don't need to involve anyone else. So that's kind of like how I don't really use it too much. Like, I'm not going to go to work tomorrow and be like, hey, I can make apps now. But like being able to like flesh out an idea and actually like ship it if I wanted to is like a really cool thing.
Another thing is just being more comfortable with the tool that you're building for. So, for example, I was in the iOS track. I had a pretty good understanding of iOS, but you really don't know all the fine details until you actually get into the nitty-gritty and learn the capabilities of the language, Swift itself. So,
Yeah, great replies, guys. Any other questions from the audience? What was your favorite part about the class? Tim? Oh, anybody else in more than one word?
So besides all the learning, I would say meeting all these people and building this network was really valuable.
Yeah, that's a great point. Anything else?
You also get the opportunity that you normally won't get in your professional life to actually create a product. You're not coming in on something that already exists. You get to actually like sketch it out and see it from the beginning, which is a different experience than you normally get.
Thank you. Any other insights? One more question.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by what you guys have been able to accomplish, what you've shown today, and I was curious, as most of you guys are engineers before joining CodePath, what the learning curve was for you in learning Swift or Java versus what you knew before you came to CodePath. So I think one of the purposes of CodePath class is to make it easier for engineers to learn, and they did a really good job at that. So they started with the very basic problems, and it was not that difficult to start with those. The way they teach, they basically give you a framework, and all the hurdles that engineers hit in the beginning of learning a language, all those are removed. So because they will sit with you and they will build an app with you, a basic non-good looking app, but a basic app, so you know how to use the tools, how to use Excel, how to use. Now it's just that how much more effort you can put, how good is your imagination. So I don't think it was very difficult. It was intense, but I think anyone can learn.
Anyone from the iOS side? No.
So I took the iOS for Designers class. One of the things that was really different is that we started week one building prototypes that look like real apps, which gets you excited about what you can do, but actually couldn't do much. So basically taking photos and animating them. And then after that, replacing those images with actual native components. And then after that, adding logic and then adding a backend. So basically from day one, you can build something concrete. It's just that you start with something that is a prototype of magic. And over time, over the 8 weeks, you build a system from scratch. So throughout the whole class, you feel really empowered, but you're learning progressively.
Thanks, Jules. Any other questions from the audience? I have a lot of questions. Where? Yeah.
So for those people who are working while they were doing CodePath, how are you able to balance CodePath with your professional obligations?
Everybody wants to answer this.
You're gonna have to give up sleep for 2 months. But you can sleep a lot when you're done, so it's worth it. It truly is. I would say the other thing is, it's so, to build on what Jules said, because you're building from day one, you're building things that you've experienced, you've interacted with in the wild. It's so exciting that the time just flies by. You'll work late night and you'll realize you've been working for a few hours, and it's just a lot of fun. It's not overwhelming or stressful in that way, I would say.
Thank you. Anyone from the back? You guys have been quiet for a while.
So I have a baby. She's 16 months. Before I took CodePath, I talked to my wife. She agreed to take over mom duties basically for 2 nights a week and for the classes and all weekends. So my life was pretty much mornings, do the daycare, go to work, go to class. I didn't actually do homework until the weekends, and it was basically all weekend, Friday night. Like Nigel said, you're not going to go out very much and do other stuff. But the flip side is, it's 8 weeks, and you learn a lot. Instead of spending 1 or 2 years on my own on Stack Overflow and Google, I have that knowledge with the investment.